Welcome to Wendy's Perfume Diary. Today, together with us, we have Michelle Kwa from the perfume house of Tigerlily.
Right. Hi, Michelle. How are you? I've learned that you're based in Penang, and there was a time in your childhood that you spent in Japan. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself, Michelle?
Sure. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for having me here. Yes, I am actually Penang born and bred. However, I spent the early years of my life in Japan, as my family has business with the Japanese. I actually went to kindergarten and nursery, kindergarten, nursery slash nursery in Japan before coming back in 1990. So I have a lot of memories being in Japan. I was around a lot of the Shinto temples. I grew up with cherry blossoms. I have the memory of the smell of the Japanese cypress, which is we know as hinoki. Growing up in Japan, because I used to visit temples a lot with my parents. And it's such a wonderful experience to be in Japan when you're young, you know? The smell of the Japanese cypress actually soothes and calms me more than, say, lavender would. You know, like normally people say like lavender is so calming, but oddly, it doesn't have that same, sort of experience on me. I prefer like hinoki. That really, really like makes me feel good about myself. And also, growing up in Japan, I used to eat a lot of Baskin Robbins. I'm such an ice cream lover up till today. And incidentally, I have actually made some perfumes which are Japan inspired using hinoki and yuzu. However, I noticed that my target audience doesn't really enjoy those scents, so I discontinued it for a while. I don't know, unless people ask me for it again. So anyway, I've been in Malaysia since 1990. And I did my studies here. I did my Form 6, and I got my bachelor's degree in psychology also. But I actually have a day job. I'm a yoga teacher by profession, in case you all didn't know. But my perfume house gives me a way of expressing myself creatively. And occasionally I like to paint also.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing with us your childhood, your growing up in Japan, and also one more thing. I've learned that you started Tiger Lily in 2018.
Correct.
Now, what sparks the beginning of your perfume house and also the beginning of your consultant services?
It's actually a sort of an unusual beginning, because, but I've always been very sensitive, very aware of smell since I was young. So, I'm a yoga teacher by profession, and I'm constantly surrounded by people who are naturally very sweaty, right? In my working conditions, right? Pre-COVID anyway. So it all started when a student of mine, she asked me about which perfume I think would suit her, because she knows that I'm an avid perfume user. And then suddenly my brain made a connection, like one which you normally wouldn't think about, like the smell of a natural sweat. I actually can identify my students by the smell, and that's normal. That's fine. That's just me. So I thought about what she smells like, paired with the sense of perfume which I had smelled before in Sephora, for example. You can think about it like in a sense of a wine connoisseur, like pairing food to wine. It's kind of like the same thing, which I think I'm skilled at. So my business idea started off with me consulting clients on which designer perfume will suit them best according to their skin scent, how their natural skin chemistry is. So around the same time, I also started to get into perfume blending, making my own perfume blends which match the client's skin chemistry for sale. And then finally, with a little push from a friend of mine, I decided to launch Tigerlily, offering handmade bespoke perfumes catered to the client's skin chemistry, which ultimately is the fruit of the perfume consultation. The perfume which I make is born from from the information that I collect during the consultation.
Oh, I see. So it's like a
Yeah.
consultation service and together with that will come with a bespoke perfume, right?
Correct,
All right.
exactly.
So now you got me very intrigued. Can you tell us can you explain to us about the consultation service?
Yeah, sure. So basically, my business is centered upon the concept of finding one's signature scent based on their skin chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
When a client buys a bespoke perfume, it comes with a consultation service. So pre-COVID, the client and I normally we would meet at maybe a cafe in the morning. I would ask a lot of personal questions like personality-wise, scent preferences, if they had any scent memories, any special scent memories they had. Yeah. Whichever questions which bring me closer to distilling the client's essence into a perfume bottle per se. Yeah. Like the very best of themselves into a perfume bottle. But in the pandemic situation, I find myself having to blend using the concept of like the client's top 3 or top 5 favorite perfumes, like using that as a baseline of blending, of making a bespoke. So there are always patterns to decipher of one's favorite perfumes, same as reading people in psychology. We look for similarities, disparities, and patterns which make us unique. You are unique. I'm unique. So it's like everybody has their own sort of distinct patterns, in themselves. And sometimes clients will come to me with a few favorite of their notes, like few favorite notes. It could be like vetiver, it could be rose, or it could be oud. Depending, and they'll say like, okay, I want this particular sense in my perfume. Can you make that? I was like, yeah, okay, sure, all right, I can do that. So it's a possible option also. It's kind of like imagine yourself ordering a Starbucks drink off menu. You've always seen those videos like, yeah, it's off menu. Something which is not available on site, right? Like, or at least in obvious, yeah. So my service gives you something very customizable and personal.
All right. So that would be about your the consultation service. So making bespoke perfume is I think it's a major part provided by your house. Am I right?
Correct.
So can you share with us normally how would the process of making a bespoke perfume take place?
Sure. So again, pre-COVID, I would allocate about 60 minutes face to face with a client.
Mm-hmm.
And I would normally finish the session by getting a good few whiffs of the client's inner wrist. So we have like our own personal scent here,
Uh-huh.
Basically, I would tell them to shower the night before. Don't apply any lotions, don't apply any creams. Come see me the next morning. No deodorants. I want to take them in as pure as possible. So so they come see me without having a shower. It's not gross. I'm used to like sweaty people. It's okay. It's normal. So that way I get the purest input of skin information. And then taking all that information in, I would then write down the notes, which I think would pair well with their skin chemistry and personality. However, in the pandemic, a bespoke is currently based off the patterns of which I find the client's top perfume choices.
I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, how do you draft your ideas? When it comes to making bespoke perfume and also creating your own perfume.
Right. My ideas come from distilling the information from the consultation or the patterns which I see in clients, along with how the clients interact with me. It's quite an interesting process because nowadays we talk on WhatsApp a lot. The communication is a lot on WhatsApp. And clients will tell me, oh, they want this and that and this and that, but the sometimes the communication can be a little bit limited on WhatsApp per se.
Yeah.
So heck, if people wanted to call me up and talk about making them a bespoke perfume, I would be more than happy. Because the more the clients open up to me, the better the bespoke perfume will be, the better the bespoke experience will be.
Mm-hmm.
So I say this to people who may be interested, like, don't be scared. I don't bite. Give me a call. And also, people are made out of very intricate patterns, as I mentioned before.
Yep.
And my job is to see this pattern, to see them in the very best of light. People are indeed complex creatures. Sometimes everything they say to me tells me something, gives me a picture of how they are. And even when they don't say something, it also tells me something else. It's like I see patterns in everything. You know, and I really enjoy that to get to know people. I use a lot of my, as you maybe you could tell, I use a lot of my psychology background when I do
Uh-huh.
bespoke perfumery,
Yeah.
along with my perfume blending skills, of course. Once I've gathered enough information about the client, I sit down and I think about the notes which will pair well with their personality, their skin chemistry, or even their request. They'd say like, "Oh yes, I must have vetiver, or I must have rose." For example, I must have it. Like, so I take into account what they request also, and then from that point onwards, I just let my creativity just run free, and as I blend up the bespoke perfume for the client.
I see. So,
Okay, I like this question. Oddly enough, actually all of them do. If you take a look at my web store, like I have quite a few, and all of them do. They are indeed facets of my life, stories of my experience, which I share with the wearer. But if I had to really name one, if you like really push me to press me and like ask me like which one, I would say it would be Dance with My Father. That is the perfume is called. Um, it's an open letter which I write to my own father through the penmanship of a perfumer's pipette, and I classify it as an Asian Oriental fragrance. And I've been told that it has a very soulful dry down. So I don't know. Maybe you should try it and let me know. However, I don't expect everyone to understand it or nor think that it's my best work. I don't expect the masses to enjoy it, but it's my most emotional one, which I've put forward in my work. Um, and incidentally, I have been told that Wrong Feels Right has actually brought tears to one of my clients' eyes, and he could not bring himself to wear it. It's understandable because everyone has different triggers in life, so different perfumes will suit different people, and different notes in different perfumes will trigger different responses in each client. So it's important that I know what a client wants and doesn't want in a bespoke. That being said.
all right. What is your favorite perfume? Can you share with us one that is created by other perfumer?
Um, well, right off the top of my head, I think of Hummingbird by Zoologist. I absolutely love it. It's no doubt sweet, and like very. I love the sort of floral nectar element of it. It's just so wonderful. So I love Hummingbird by Zoologist. It makes me really, really happy when I wear it. And oftentimes during the weekend, I would just like spray quite a few sprays and then just, go out and do groceries. Even though if it's groceries, it's a lovely scent to wear.
Yeah.
Um, did you ask me if I like some other perfume? What was your second part of the question?
Oh, other perfumers, perfume
Oh,
that
oh
is
yes,
made
yes,
by
yes,
other
yes, yes, yes.
perfumers.
Correct. Sorry. So in the world of perfumery, I really admire and follow the work of Canton Biche. Some of his known works are like Pure Access for Her and Boucheron Fleur. Canton is known for pairing the most unusual elements together, yet he is so modern without losing the very base of like traditional perfume roles, which I absolutely love. It's a very nice balance between approaching the modern style and still holding on to the traditional values. That's so
See.
far I've followed him on Instagram, and that's what he seems to portray. And I think that resonates with me. That's why I really follow his work. And it's also said that he enjoys Japanese plum wine. This one, umeshu, yeah?
Huh?
So that's a plus point for me because it's my favorite also.
Mm.
So yeah.
So now, what is your earliest scent memories?
My swimming bag, and this was in Japan. Every kid was given the same bag for use when they signed up for like swimming lessons.
Oh.
So basically, it was this like dark blue waterproof fabric with like bright orange straps, and like you can see like a bunch of Japanese kids and me, carrying it around, going to swimming class. And anyway, I think about the smell of that bag, and I can never forget that smell. It's something so precious and so close to my heart. I don't think I would go out and replicate the smell, but it's something which is really close to my heart. And it just reminds me of, going to the public swimming pool where like young kids are taught swimming lessons as a group. We all learned as a group. We had our floats and we're like bobbing up and down, and it was good. It was good. I think scent memories make up the person we are. So yes, to some conscious and subconscious level, I do believe that early scent memories have an impact on what I do today.
Oh. So another thing, what gives you most satisfaction when it comes to making a perfume and also making bespoke and providing consultation service to people who come to you?
Uh, to be honest, I love the consultation process. I learned so much about people and what makes them unique, what makes them tick, what makes you, you, what makes, like you, Wendy, you, and what makes me, me. But I feel like some people nowadays like things very fast and furious, like gimme, 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 like I want this, I want that. Like there's nothing wrong to that, but the pace which I like to work at is like, I think I prefer the old ways of like taking time to get to know someone, getting to know my client a bit better, like as I make the bespoke, for them. So as I mentioned before, the more the client opens up to me during the session, whether it's face to face, whether it's on the phone or through his WhatsApp, the better the bespoke result will be.
So,
Of course, the perfume blending is also very fun for me too. But
mhm.
I'm a very much a people person, so I love connecting with people. So the consultation process allows me to, bring forth my myself, I guess, my
Yeah,
personality too, for their
to connect.
personality and my personality to meet between, in
Yeah,
between. Yeah.
that's great. Now, what is the biggest challenge you have faced thus far?
Well, I was thinking a bit long and hard on this. Mm, I think the biggest challenge is trying to educate clients on what bespoke perfumery is.
Mhm.
I notice in Malaysia, at least, everyone in general, I think, wants to go for maybe the most popular, the most hyped, the most loved. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what my service is really about. In the perfume buying climate in Malaysia, I feel like it's all about status, brand names, niche perfumery, and what everyone else is wearing.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a way of the consumer feeling more connected with his community. Maybe it's that. However, I'm quite the rebel, and I prefer to focus on the other side of things. My service focuses on what you want to wear for you, like yourself, and intrinsic internal motivation rather than extrinsic motivation like status or brand names. Which again, nothing wrong. It's just what my house focuses on.
I see. That's very interesting, and that I think that's a very good insight for everyone to think about. And one
Oops.
final question: Do you have
Sure.
a Do you have a personal message to all our fragrance enthusiasts?
Yes, I think I do. Before I go, I'd like to thank you, Wendy, for putting me on the perfume map. Without you, I think people wouldn't know that I had a perfume house. So I'm grateful for that. And also, I'd like to thank Mr. Chan, who first found me online. He took a chance on my small perfumery house, and bought a couple of things from me. I'm so grateful for that also. And recently, there's this client of mine, Mr. Neo DeMarco. He challenged me to make a very complex bespoke for him, and I learned a lot doing that. I was like saying to him like, "Wow, this is highly like challenging for me, but I'm going to do it. And in the end, I managed to do it. And I really enjoyed the process of getting there. Also, my advice to those listening to this video, um, don't buy my perfume based on hype alone. Come talk to me because you want something unique for yourself instead of following the masses. Yeah. And lastly, as this is going up in August, our Merdeka month, I urge you all to support local Malaysian perfume artisans.
Thank you so much to Michelle for spending time with me. And I really, today my SOTD is teapot and swing.
Ah, yes, yes. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you're wearing that.
Yeah, this is my favorite. And yeah,
Oh.
I overspray this one.
It has that note of like the plums, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the umeshu plums. That's quite.
Okay,
All right,
bye
thanks,
bye.
Wendy. Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.